So you've heard all about this so-called 9th Street Divide. Well, this is it. So the 9th Street Divide is where they put in a double wide with a median street that runs straight through downtown. The thought was they created an expressway that ran through West End. They used eminent domain laws to take houses so that they could build the expressway. Then you come off of I-64 and in the junction with I-65 right here, and this used to be 9th Street. They renamed it Roy Wilkins. If you look at the street itself, it's the only street in downtown Louisville that's 2 to 3 lanes with a grass median and then 2 to 3 lanes on the other side. So the concept was this is going to divide Louisville, black on one side, which is from 9th Street, numbers going up, and then the business district on the other side, 9th Street going down in numbers. So just in case you didn't know, you've probably been up and down this 100 times. This is the 9th Street Divide.
Their motive was, as they told me, to drive the Negro back from the central area. They felt that way downtown wouldn't become the Black Belt. It was a childish idea because the streets are still open, and it was a cruel thing. And well, later, as you all know, urban renewal was called Negro removal by the Negroes and by the people who were sympathetic with them. And that's what it was. It almost always tore down the homes of black people or poor people.
This is 9th Street, and this is one of the main gentrification areas you've heard people talking about here recently. This is one of Greg Fisher's major accomplishments, was getting Beecher Terrace demolished and turned into what you're going to see is what they call mixed use and multiple income family areas. The Miniversity is probably the only original property. Everything else was demolished, and this is owned and operated by Louisville Central Community Center. But let's walk this way and you'll see they've taken all of what was Beecher Terrace, which was a low-income housing development, and they've turned it into something that's actually beautiful. They've reserved spaces for low-income families, but when they tore this development down, they tore down about 1,300 doors, so to speak, number of units where people could live. And when they built it back, they only built back about 750, 800. They're still building, they're not done. So on the lower levels, there's some residential as well as commercial properties available here. And then there's residential full market rent, which could be anywhere from $1,100 to $2,000 a month in rent. And then, like I said, they did reserve some of the spaces for low income. So this is the new Beecher Terrace, and in the presentation you'll see some pictures of the old Beecher Terrace, and this is a shining example of gentrification, but it's a good example of things that can happen in the area, so it's not all bad. It's really good to have this here. I think the biggest problem that people have had is it keeps displacing people who are of low income or lower means. So the problem isn't with building nicer neighborhoods, because this is a wonderful neighborhood, and when it's done, it's going to be a fabulous place to live and work. But there is a housing crisis all across the United States, and Louisville is not being sheltered from that crisis. And there's so many people who are living in hotels and homeless shelters because they don't have anywhere to live, because projects like this are happening all over the city. And with these projects, it gives the low-income folks nowhere to go. So they find themselves paying thousands of dollars in rent for places that are substandard and can barely pass a Section 8 inspection. And like I said, there's a lot of folks that are still living in homeless shelters and hotels where they're paying by the week astronomical amounts because there's just nowhere to live. But of course, like I said, this is a shining example and one of Mayor Fisher's best accomplishments of turning what was a low-income housing facility into beautiful multi-use properties. So this is the new Beecher Terrace.